Well, we're gonna talk about this Charlie Kirk assassination, and I won't be on camera for this one today because I'm not feeling up to it for today. But check this out. That's gonna be neither here nor there. I got a lot to break down. I'm about to point out a lot of coincidences that make this all seem fake. And once we point all of that out, right? We are going to talk about why would they fake it. So two things we're going to do. We're going to spend an intense amount of time pointing out the coincidences that just make it seem staged and fake. Now, I'm not naive. I think that the world is a stage. I actually made a video that was a pretty good live stream talking about the world being a stage. Do me a favor in the chat room. If you believe too that the world is a stage and that the people that we see on the big screen are puppets on the stage acting out certain scripts so that the public can react in a certain way to get us toward a certain agenda, then I would ask you to put a 1, but let's put the world as a stage. I want you to type all that out. I want to see that spammed in the chat room only by the people that think that. If you don't think it, carry on. Just trying to gauge my chat room here. I want to gauge it and see how many people out there think like me. Like most of the stuff on TV, I don't even think we can really take it for face value. Not to say that the news don't cover a lot of real stories. The question is, what's the percentage between real and fake what we see with all of these stories? When we say we live in a simulation, a quote unquote Matrix or Truman Show, and we say that the world is a stage, it's streams like this that let you know I'm not capping about this thing. Because I spoke about the Charlie Kirk situation from a race relation standpoint, black versus white division. And at the time I was saying I didn't care if it was real or fake because the division is real. And I handled my business with that, right? I handled my business with that. I handled that the right way. But me being a man of honesty and integrity, I just couldn't leave it alone with that kind of content. So I promise that I will explore this side of it where it's all staged, it's fake. And there's a lot of things I brought with me today that we're going to enjoy these receipts. And we're going to scrutinize them, break them down, syncretism. We doing the spiritual decoding, esoteric decoding, because there's a lot of symbolism involved when you're dealing with the people on the world stage. So first thing first, what we'll get into is the movie that's entitled Snake Eyes. Okay, so the movie Snake Eyes, let me break this down to y'all. Grab my slides real quick. So we want to start off and we want to start talking about this movie, Snake Eyes. So a lot of people are pointing out the parallels between this film, Snake Eyes, which was released in 1998, and the reported assassination of Charlie Kirk. And here are a few of the parallels that you will find online that are prevalent. And in the movie Snake Eyes, the victim is Charles Kirkland. And this Charles Kirkland, right, gets shot by a shooter by the name of Lincoln Tyler. Now, Charles Kirkland sounds very similar to Charlie Kirk. And Lincoln Tyler, the shooter, sound very similar to Tyler Robinson, which was Charlie Kirk's shooter. The circumstances of the murder of Charles Kirkland and Charlie Kirk are identical because in Snake Eyes, the assassination happens at a public event And Kirkland is targeted in this sort of conspiracy type setting to where people are acting just the way we're acting now. Like how you see Candace Owens coming out with, you know, let me see if I can show you something. Because everything I speak on, I want to actually show receipts for it. And I want to be thorough with this so that you don't miss none of the coincidences. So that you can see everything we're living right now is a script that was written out in this movie. And so often we've seen these type of happenstances. Let's go ahead and show you what the movie is prophesying. Okay, if you go read about the movie, the way that Charles Kirkland died, there's a whole bunch of conspiracies surrounding the man's unaliving. All right, so just like with Charlie Kirk, and just like in that movie, everyone's talking about all the things that don't add up, all the coincidences. And it's crazy because in the movie, it was the same reaction. In the movie, you had your Candace Owens energy, right? It's like our exact reality right now in a movie, to the point where it's quite, it's weird feeling. I don't want to say scary, but it's weird. It's very mysterious. You know what I'm saying? And I got my theories about this earth, about this place we're at. It is a matrix. It's a simulation. The world is a stage. And the people on it, y'all, they have strings attached to them that's connected to Satan. And if we follow these puppets, just like with any play, the reaction of the crowd is written inside the play. The crowd ain't acting under their own will. They're reacting and responding to what's happening on the stage. It's psychology. And they're using it against the masses via the TV. We're going to get into that aspect in a minute. Let's continue pointing out the coincidences, and then we can, unpack the agenda and how deep this simulation may go and purpose of all of it. But what's so weird about these connections, right, is that it's just so eerily 100% everything we're living right now. And it was in this movie. And what made me really get the hairs on my skin standing up was not only did this character, Charles Kirkland, get shot in the neck. People, this got to be at least 5 coincidences. Do we got a coincidence keeper? Anybody in the chat room want to count coincidences? That'll be dope. I may ask y'all at the end exactly how many coincidences we pointed out, because there is a lot. I'm gonna do like a stick chart. We're gonna keep track of them, because the first coincidence is Charles Kirkland and Charlie Kirk. The second one is Lincoln Tyler and Tyler Robinson. The third one, which is a star coincidence, we got to have coincidences and star coincidences, like a high rank one. This coincidence is the fact that Charles gets shot in the neck specifically. Come on now, people. That right there make your flesh crawl. And then when you realize that the public reacted exactly in the movie how we doing now with conspiracies and what could it have been? And not to say that your conspiracies are wrong, because I think that you're in the right department if you question it from that perspective, because this world isn't what it presents itself to be. Even if you look at the cover of this movie, you will see it says, "Believe everything except your eyes." Check this out. Look there, right there on the cover, y'all. Right here on the cover. Like, this is a big psyop, like a mind sort of experiment in so many ways. But right here on the cover of Snake Eyes, it says, "Believe everything except your eyes." right there, as if the director is telling us the world is a stage, man. And all these shootings and events is just the wage of war against humans by these archons in power, by these puppets. An archon is simply a human or a non-human that is tethered to the artificial intelligence that governs this simulation. Some call it Satan. It is a hive mind, and people don't sell they sold to it the way that you think. They sell they soul to it by allowing themselves to be tethered to it via technological interfaces. And this thing literally will co-pilot their vessel. And this is what I mean by puppets with strings attached. And if you don't want to look at it that tinfoil hattish, then you can just say these people are willing puppets to act out whatever they told. It don't have to be so sci-fi, you know. But I do think there's levels to tethering yourself to the forces of this world. And I think there's very possible for you to do this thing with BCIs, but I don't want to get into the brain-computer interfaces, none of that. Let me stay on track, because the cover of this movie tell us don't believe what you see, basically. The words snake eyes is very, very symbolic and have a lot of esoteric meanings. You know, when you would name a movie Snake Eyes and you're talking about the situation, because snake eyes also can mean you've been bamboozled, you've been hoaxed, you've been crossed in a way. You know what I'm saying? And that's what these psyops would be. Like, if the world is a stage, then that would be a form of deception. You know, another symbol of the snake was a deceiver. And this cover is telling you, believe everything except your eyes. We got about 5 coincidences. And I'm going to keep on pointing out these coincidences, which the next one is, in the movie, the assassination took place on September 10. All right. So in the movie, the assassination took place on September 10, which is what I call a star coincidence, just like the neck shooting. It's so crazy that in the movie, they even got the right date. You get to so many coincidences where you say, wait a minute, these are not coincidences. We got to look at this deeper. There's something about our reality that can be predicted about it. Even the Mayans knew that. The Egyptians knew it. The biblical prophets knew that it's possible to speak about things in detail before they happen in this place. What was the secrets of these prophets? What is the secrets of the Simpsons? Why they always predicting stuff? What is it about our reality that allows it to be accurately predicted by Mother Shipman, Nostradamus, the Apostle John? What is it about this place, or is it something about those people? It can't be nothing about those people, because most of the prophets taught that you can do it too. So it must be something about this place that they knew that gave them the ability to tell you what's going to happen years before it happened in great detail. And you know what I think it is about this place that gave them that ability? The fact that we are in a Truman Show simulation, and all world events are scripted out by a non-human race of species that are working in unison with humans who have sold out to it, the humans and the humanoids. And they're the ones responsible for keeping this world stage and the events going, keeping us debating, controlling us, keeping us occupied, distracted with all of these world events that aren't real, but our reactions are real. The laws that are taken, the authoritarian government that is manifesting on this earth is a reality based upon scripted events. All of the prophets knew that. All of the Gnostics knew it. Even the monks in the Himalayas, they don't own TVs. They go in seclusion and they ignore everything that we are sucked into because they know it's a matrix. I want to have a deeper conversation about Charlie Kirk because it is a very intricate psychological operation. And the puppets that are helping perpetuate it are your Candace Owenses. Look at here. Look at your boy Brandon Tatum. He going live about it every day. And what is he talking about? Look at it. Debunking conspiracies. It's their job. Anyone that want to think outside the box and do what we doing, they want to say, no, it ain't fake, it's real. If it was real, they would be ignoring us little tinfoil hatters, y'all, and they would be too busy mourning the loss of their brother versus arguing with people who mocking his death and don't even think it's real. It seems as if Charlie Kirk is a sales pitch that these people are trying to sell to you more than they are trying to honor him in his death. It's almost as if they're trying to desperately sell you this agenda, what they are perpetuating on the world stage, which makes me kind of double down on the idea that it may all be fake. Well, Sanchez, if it's all fake, where is Charlie Kirk? Now, here's where it get good. Here's where it get good. I believe that there are uncharted continents, uncharted islands, uncharted lands. I believe that there are underground cities beneath your feet that are bigger than Birmingham, bigger than San Antonio. I believe there are underground cities that are oases, paradises with simulated suns and flowing rivers. Because every time this earth have a reset, the rich people come up out the caves to reclaim it. Every 7,000 years, the population on Earth decrease, and we due for it now, which is why I got to cover this little Atlas rock that they talking about, which is them finna come with another great reset. But every time they depopulate the Earth, this small group of people always survive it, which is very much a coincidence within itself. Is because if you got 500 red balls inside of a building and 2 blue balls, pun intended, inside the building. Now watch this. If the building catch on fire every year and the only thing left is them 2 blue balls, we would say that's a miracle. Ain't no way. Mathematically, that's impossible. You would think that the greater amount of balls would be surviving. Meaning if there's 500 red balls in the burning building, then surely those 2 blue balls burnt up and you would only have a few red balls left. What are the chances of the minority surviving the burning house more than the majority, when the purpose of you being the majority is so that your species can outlive the minority? It seems like there is some people on this earth who know that their numbers are low. They can't breed like us because they aren't human. And they have to reset the earth every time us indigenous humans, when we start to wake up to our who and what we are, greater, because we're greater than these evil ones in power. They have to reset this thing. They have to reset it. It's like cutting your grass. Every 7,000 years, we get overpopulated and we start asking too many damn questions that let them know, okay, they thinking in a way that's dangerous now. They talking about Kundalini, parallel. We got to reset this and dumb it back down. And it about, and this how they have another generation of dumb humans that's like in the dark age. They keep resetting the earth They record these resets as great floods and all of that, but it ain't no flood with water. It is a flood of technology, transhumanism, and a digital grid. It is the technology of Babylon and Egypt that is rising back up, creating an autonomous, privatized government, a dictatorship. It says, believe everything except your eyes. Let me give a shout out to VHS. Said, good show yesterday, bro Sanchez. Thank you. I'm trying to heart your donation. There we go. Let's break this down. There's a lot to break down. I want to read the plot just in case there's something else that we may have missed with the parallels here. There's a lot of coincidences that we've pointed out thus far. So let me go ahead and talk about something else real quick about the meaning of snake eyes. All right, because everyone know when you gamble and when you playing dice, snake eyes is like the two when you get 1 and 1 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's the lowest possible roll in the dice game, often linked with bad luck, misfortune, and loss. So if we playing dice with each other and you roll snake eyes, it don't get no lower than that. And basically that's like you lose when you roll the snake eyes. Is misfortune and loss. So snake eyes, just the word, is associated with loss. But once you find out Charlie Kirk never lost his life, what is the loss aspect? You losing certain liberties as a civilian. And I'm going to go into what they're doing in the wake of Charlie Kirk as far as censorship and all of that online, so you can see what I'm saying. So it is a great loss for the people. The symbolism behind snake eyes. Snake eyes represent danger, evil. It suggests that something sinister or threatening, like a snake's gaze. Like if a snake is staring you off, you're in danger. So it represents someone untrustworthy or someone that's cold-blooded in nature, like the people in power. You can't trust them. They cold-blooded. They all are capitalists out for self. They don't. And when you have those kind of people in service positions, the people will never get served, but they will always serve themselves at the expense of the people, this explains the generational wealth gap. Snake eyes, another meaning of snake eyes, it means precision, focus. It can imply a piercing stare or deadly aim. So snake eyes mean not only someone that's cold-blooded, untrustworthy, and it is not only associated with loss and you being deceived, but it's also associated with accuracy. It's associated with precision, focus is what it's associated with. So you can look at that at it as if someone is precisely orchestrating a series of events on a world stage to get us toward a certain end goal. They're doing it with precision. So you're dealing with evil people that's non-trustworthy, they're cold-blooded, and they're very precise, they're very focused on their sinister agenda. All of this symbolism is associated with the term snake eyes. In G.I. Joe, they said that the Joe character, his nickname is Snake Eyes, but I don't understand how that would tie in. I'm just throwing that out there. But it's just used as but a term to represent betrayal and danger. Hold on a second. I'm gonna move forward here. So not only do we have this movie Snake Eyes that gives so many coincidences that we see happening in the movie that actually happened in real life. If that's not enough, we also have this. And I'm gonna play a video from Joseph Aquaviva. It's 4 minutes, which is why I decided I might as well just play this video. Y'all can sub up to him.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's Joseph. Guys, you aren't going to believe this. There's a music video from 13 years ago, She's My Kind of Crazy by Emerson Drive. And in the video, we have Erika Kirk. She's ziplining in this video past the numbers 9, 10. Like her husband, Charlie Kirk.
Again, there go the numbers 9, 10 again. We just pointed out those numbers 9, 10. We just pointed that out, that in the movie Snake Eyes, the Charles Kirkland in the movie Snake Eyes died on September the 10th. And right here, man, right here in the movie that but the wife of Charlie Kirk, her name's Erika Kirk. She was in a country music video that was created by the artist Emerson Drive, and the name of that video, that song, was She's My Kind of Crazy. And if you look at Erika Kirk, she give you crazy vibes. The way that she been acting, excuse me, in the wake of Charlie's death, so quick to forgive the shooter's family and wage war with the mockers, and then get right into the capitalistic venture surrounding monetizing her husband's death. I mean, we can see it. She's been moving very suspicious as a so-called mourning widow, right? But she do give you, I mean, to me, it can be one big plot, one big play, one big staged event that's fake as hell. And Charlie could be somewhere living out his life in paradise on some uncharted island where they're breeding humans just for sex.
Allegedly died on 9/10. I'm not making this up. And guys, that's not even the craziest part. If you go down here, 13.
What if we find out there's a secret network of uncharted lands that the elite go to, and they got all kind of sex rings and sex slaves, and just like the old medieval world, never went nowhere. They just hid it, you know. In these, hey, that can be a thing, man. Underground or uncharted, and you think these folks die, but they just leave the world stage, and then they die a symbolic death. In the secret society, it ain't a real death. You just remove them off the world stage. And then what they do, they transcend into these, now that their job is done, they get to go and live their paradise in the afterlife, meaning the life they live after they lived out their pseudo life. Because when you in these secret societies, you have two identities. One of them is who you portraying on the stage in public. When that persona dies, you transcend into paradise, whatever that may be. And it don't necessarily mean death yet. But I do think that when they remove people off the world stage, they don't got to change their identity and do all that crazy stuff. They probably got entire uncharted lands that are populated with humans that they scientifically bred to serve them and all that. So this stream, I'm on my deep shit. I'm on my conspiracy theory shit. Hit the like button, hit the share button if you still enjoy humans that think outside the box. We're going to keep this kind of thinking living. But let's finish.
15 years ago, she left a comment, and you're not going to believe the comment. What a blast. Tyler and I had shooting this video with you guys. Blast, like a gunshot blast. Tyler, like the suspect is Tyler Robinson. And shooting, like Tyler did the shooting. And when you click on the profile, you get Erika.
Shout out to Sally McDermott. Thank you for the super chat, Sally.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's Joseph. Guys, you aren't going to believe this. There's a music video from 13 years ago. She's My Kind of Crazy by Emerson Drive. And in the video, we have Erika Kirk. She's ziplining in this video past the numbers 9-10. Like her husband, Charlie Kirk, allegedly died on 9-10. I'm not making this up. And guys, that's not even the craziest part. If you go down here, 13 years ago, she left a comment, and you're not going to believe the comment. What a blast. Tyler and I had shooting this video with you guys. Blast, like a gunshot blast. Tyler, like the suspect is Tyler Robinson. And shooting, like Tyler did the shooting. And when you click on the profile, you get Erika Francevy. And Erika Kirk was born Erika Lane Francevy. So it is 100% her in the video, guys. I mean, wow. On top of that, she's ziplining past a sign that says Fremont. And Fremont means freedom, like Charlie Kirk had a freedom shirt on. And then you have the cross there. Kirk means church, right? Also, the video length is 3 minutes and 22 seconds. 322, the number of skull and bones. All right. And notice she's ziplining like a witch. And remember, we just had the website Jezebel. It had the witches put the curse on Charlie Kirk just 2 days before he was allegedly killed. And then we connected all this to Snake Eyes, where Charles Kirkland, like Charles Kirk, is shot in the neck during a fight where Tyler goes down in a staged fall, right? So you got Tyler there also. And remember the connection I'm making here, you have the storm called Jezebel that's going on during the assassination. And also remember the assassin in the movie Snake Eyes, his initials are TR, like Tyler Robinson. So anyways, guys, this is unbelievable. All right. You got the Fremont, like freedom. You got the 9-10, like Charlie Kirk died on 9-10. And this comment, what a blast. Tyler and I had shooting this video. Wow. And it's 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Remember, Charlie Kirk allegedly died 322 weeks after the first episode of the Charlie Kirk Show. He also died 6 years, 66 days after the first episode of the Charlie Kirk Show. And here she is in the video. You can tell that's her. And obviously that's her because she left a comment. But anyways, guys, I can't take credit for this. I got this information from a channel called Jurassic Liars. And somebody let him know, and then I found out through him. Anyways, all credit goes to God. I wouldn't know anything if it wasn't for him.
Salutes to this man. Y'all sub up to Joseph Aquaviva. And I think that's a good short video that gives you all the connections you need as far as the Erika Kirk video. Now I want to go into this aspect of pointing out, first of all, before I get on Brandon Tatum and how that ties into all of this, right? I want, it's kind of the same thing I'm trying to show you about Candace Owens. See, when it comes to this world stage, they can't just give you a fake event and leave it up to you to react and respond the way they do. They need people to go and sell it to you in a psychological way where you don't even know you're being sold something. So when something suspicious happen on the world stage that don't add up with all the coincidence that I'm showing you now, instead of you having a chance, instead of the masses having a chance to question it on the level that we're doing now, their first introduction to these events is through popular figures like Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, ABC, CNN, and these kind of platforms. They do not question it on a deeper level like what we doing. What they're gonna do is go and sell a narrative based upon a stage event, which is, should we get rid of guns? Should we think about black violence? Should we talk about black versus white? And right there, they already made you agree that the event is real. Because now we already arguing about the repercussions of the event, and we never had a chance to question the event itself and the validity of it. And the people in power don't want you to question everything around you, because you'll realize you in a matrix and the world is a stage. And it'll be all hell break loose. Then when we see how much power we've handed over based upon lies, it says in the Bible that that serpent will deceive the entire world, which is why the cover of the movie Snake Eyes says, believe everything except your eyes. Now, we're going to segue back to the puppets that's there to sell you the staged events, and they're there to combat anybody that's making you think about this on a deeper level. They want you to automatically accept these events and go with the division and the New World Order agenda that the Zionists, Israel, Netanyahu, these people own our government, which is why you will see here your boy Brandon Tatum already did a deal with the devil, Netanyahu. Now, you got to realize that the UN just walked out on Netanyahu, and that when it comes to world affairs, the United States and Israel has lost all respect, and we're going to start to get treated like a third world country. The walkout that they did on Netanyahu was a protest to say that the world no longer respects the U.S. and Israel, y'all. That's scary. They already formed the BRICS. Now we see that Netanyahu is so desperate that he's in America looking for black conservatives to help sell the Zionist agenda. And he never looked for black conservatives. But when you understand that this man has lost all of his alliance, his affiliations, no one respects Israel like they used to. And we're going to talk about this walkout. We're going to talk about Brandon Tatum, Candace Owens, and the people that's there to sell you these events on the world stage in a way where you don't even know you're being sold something. They just come with a narrative. You get your emotions involved, and you never had the opportunity to question it if it's all even real. What if at the end of your life, you realize all the shit you had your emotional energy invested in on earth was a fucking play and a stage? Guess what that would mean? You literally wasted your life, man. It was all fake. That's something to think about. You wasted your, what would you have been done with your life besides wasting it on fake reactions? You probably would have been doing some productive that can batter the world, and that's what they don't want. It's what they don't want. I want to play a video, and after we, first of all, how is they using Charlie Kirk for censorship? Because they're targeting people for mocking his death. And the people that's mocking his death fits a certain profile that they already know. And guess what that profile is? If you're anti-Charlie Kirk, anti-establishment, anti-Christian nationalist, guess what else you're anti-Semitic? You're anti-Jew, anti-Zionist. Because if you're anti-establishment, guess who run the establishment in America? It's pushing a Zionist agenda. Israel owns TikTok, and that's what I'm about to play with y'all in this video. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. This brother is an OG in the game. He's been around a long time. Y'all go ahead and sub to this brother. Just been making a lot of good content for a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody tag Brandon Tatum, Officer Brandon Tatum.
On January 19, 2025, TikTok was suspended in the United States. And the reason why that is because the American government was concerned that TikTok, aka ByteDance, a Chinese conglomerate, had so much access or too much access to American users. And so this bothered many people, especially on the right. Fast forward! January 20th, Donald Trump becomes the president officially. And one of the things that Donald Trump did was he basically removed or delayed the ban. And why was that?
I'm a fan of TikTok. My kids like TikTok. Young people love TikTok. If we can keep it going, good. And we're going to watch the security concerns. And we have buyers.
You know, the way that Trump mouth made and the way he talked, no homo, but it sound like he said, you know, I like TikTok. It sound like a D instead of a T. And then you get Dick Doc.
Security concerns. And we have buyers, American buyers. We have American buyers. Young people love TikTok. If we can keep it going, good. And we're going to watch the security concerns. And we have buyers, American buyers. We have American buyers. And I haven't spoken to President Xi about it. At the right time when we're set, I'll do it. In the meantime, until the complexity of things work out, we just extend a little bit longer.
Oh, Trump here is saying he's a fan of TikTok. And, you know, he wants to delay the sale because he wants to talk to the Chinese president. He wants to find a way for TikTok to sell its American version to American buyers. On the surface, it sounds great that TikTok is being sold to Americans. But wait, I'll come back to that. Fast forward. We'll come back to the whole situation with TikTok later. Let's talk about Brandon Tatum. Officer Tatum is a so-called black conservative who's married to a white woman.
Got him! Got him!
And so his reach is supposed to be to the black community. On the surface level, that is supposed to be his specialty.
Black people in America don't have wealth like others because they choose not to generate wealth through investments and passing their money down.
Who's teaching us to do this?
We should teach each other to do it. Why does somebody got to teach? You want the white man to teach us? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, here, teach us something.
Okay, no, you could teach something.
Now, different from Charlie Kirk, what Tatum specializes in when he does these particular, interviews is talking to black people about black issues. But you do recognize the elephant in the room, right? So eventually, TikTok did get sold to an American company. That company is owned by Oracle. And the person that owns Oracle is Larry Ellison. He's a billionaire who is Jewish. And so when TikTok got sold to Oracle, guess what happened?
And the algorithm, I know this is a question many of you have had, will be secured, retrained, and operated in the United States outside of ByteDance's control.
Did you guys hear that?
Listen.
The algorithm will be retrained? Now, they did mention that while the algorithm will be retrained, you'll still be able to see other videos from TikTok across the world. But the United States algorithm will be retrained under the control of Oracle. And Larry Ellison likes control a lot. He's talked about it in the past.
Your body cams will be transmitting that. The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording, watching and recording everything that's going on.
See, that's the lie. It's been more police shootings with the body cams, and we seeing them and they still getting off. So Police is letting you know, and they killing you right on the body cam, and they beating the case. So that's a lie. It's the fact that we're going into a police state. And the police, basically, I watched the video this morning when I woke up, right? The police got these new surveillance system networks that's owned by third-party companies that can do stuff that the police can't do. This the way they get around the Constitution and create China in America, right? So all of these license plate reader cameras that you see, they do more than just read license plate. They looking at the way you walk. They ain't just got your license plate. If you got bumper stickers on your window or maybe a teddy bear on your back seat, they can type that in. They can put green van with a red bumper sticker, and it'll pull up the rest of everything, who you are and all that. So they literally taking advantage of third-party data. They can sync that with your online presence, which is what they finna do when they took over TikTok. Is just the beginning. Remember, the tech bros own Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. You can't go to no social media in America that don't trace back to someone who Trump cool with. So he got the tech bro administration. That is your social credit score. Israel just bought TikTok. That's, you know what? And I'm finna show y'all what the Zionist agenda is and how sinister it is and how they using the Charlie Kirk psyop to bring it forth. And then the puppets that's helping them. But first, let me play the video. I'm talking too much.
Going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
And see, my thing is they saying we gonna get rid of crime by getting rid of privacy. If we can see what everybody doing at all times, people won't do bad. But ain't that backwards, right? When you want to target the criminal mindset first, if you really cared. So what kind of stupid people would allow criminality to thrive in their society and just say, if we can observe it more, it'll happen less? That's bullcrap. If you created less criminals, you would have less crimes. You see how that works? You live in a society that goes out of its way to turn your young minds into criminal minds. And then it throws cameras at the criminal problem in America, at the crime problem. It wants a police state. And the only way you can have a police state is by ignoring the crime on a preventive level, because you want to use the crime on a surface level to create more authority in government.
So here he's talking about the future of AI. He wants to control, or AI will control everything, all interactions. As you can hear it, the benefit of this is, it's going to keep everybody honest. That's interesting.
Willie North Pole, what's good, bro?
But wait a minute, here's some Israel politicians talking about social media.
The next thing we will do, is to put restriction on the social media.
Now think about that now. These people in the midst of a damn war where they are slaughtering people on the Gaza Strip, and it is a bloodshed type of situation. It is a bloody battle over there, and it's been going on for too long. People, it is a hellhole over there on the Gaza Strip, man. Bloody war at the hands of Netanyahu, Israel, and America. And we've been operating outside of the Geneva Convention's rules, which is why they walked out on Netanyahu. We're going to play that video in a minute. In the midst of all this bloody war, why are they going out of their way to focus on silencing people on social media? You would think if I'm in the midst of a damn holy war, one of the biggest ones in history, because it may is leading into World War III, you would say, why would I also have time to police what people saying online while I got this much going on? because the real war ain't just taking place in Gaza. It's taking place here in America too. Let me explain to y'all what I mean. All of the nations that walked out on Netanyahu, they all feel like America is becoming tyrannical. America is becoming egotistical. America and Israel is basically doing too much. Now, guess what? Don't you know that there is a huge percentage of people right here in America that feel the same way? Oh my God. So it's almost like these people are in a war where they're surrounded, because outside of America, the BRICS and all these other countries are turning on America and Israel. They tired of America and Israel's foolishness. So outside of America and Israel, the whole world closing in on America and Israel, right? And when America and Israel look behind it in its own country, it's noticed that Americans are turning on it too. So not only does this system in America, the power structure, the people in power in this country, not only do they have foreign threats that are becoming way more powerful than them and building alliances that we lost, right? Check this out. Not only are we losing the foreign battle, I shouldn't say we, not only are they losing the foreign battle, Israel and America, but a lot of Americans right here on the soil feel the same way that their enemies outside the soil feel. And these people are getting very paranoid and desperate. They are concerned with black people and minority groups in America uniting with these foreigners and all that. It'll be over for them, because you got people right here in America that may be communicating with other countries that they ain't rocking with America right now. But these other countries know that there's a huge percentage of Americans who feel like them, and that's finna become part of the war to recruit that sleeper cell population. Guess who that's gonna be first? Black people. Anybody in America that's anti-establishment, they gonna target you, because they looking at you like a potential to be working with all these other folks now that's anti-American too around the world. So they really paranoid. They don't know who in America working with the enemy. And see, for so long, you can be anti-establishment in America, but since America was such a bully and everybody feared America, it didn't matter. You couldn't get no country to help you go against America because they were scared. But it's different now. No one respect America and Israel. They looking at the bully like, bro, ain't nobody scared of you. Chill out before I smack your ass. That's how they talking to the bully now. And the bully like, damn, I'm not that nigga no more. Right? So the door is open for the anti-American, anti-establishment people on the soil. What's stopping you from networking with foreign countries who hate this country? What's stopping you from? It ain't nothing stopping you from doing. You can practice economic relationships with these countries and you ain't breaking no laws, because America, our government been doing it. Our government had good economic relations with a lot of these nations. The door is open for American citizens to deal directly with the enemies of America and enrich themselves financially. You can literally compete with your government. Now, this is just a theory. It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me that these people are very desperate. They losing alliances, the world closing in on them. And in America, the citizens feel the same way. That's why MAGA is so important, because it's the last few people left in America that they know is gonna ride for this dictatorship. And that's going to be. So this is a war, and MAGA keep telling you that. They say this is a war of good and evil. But let's finish the video.
Way.
Actions. As you can hear it, the benefit of this is, it's going to keep everybody honest. That's interesting. But wait a minute. Here's some Israel politicians talking about social media.
The next thing we will do, is to put restriction on the social media in a way that not allowed to make brutal propaganda in the.
What the hell is brutal propaganda? Because y'all know what a brutality is. If someone's being brutal to you, they can only do that physically, not verbally. Don't y'all know that ain't no such thing as verbal brute force? These are terms to say we are going into a dictatorship. Israel is taking over so much of a power in America. Even Nick Fuentes called out Israel. You know it's bad when a white supremacist is saying, well, wait a minute, we just allowing Israel to run the country. I'm going to play that clip for you, right? I'm going to play that. It's crazy because it's definitely, they don't want the people to have a voice to galvanize like-minded individuals. I just told y'all what the threat is. They got to do some very deep censoring online because they can't have Americans communicating with with their ops, building relate. Imagine, right? Imagine you got a Zoom call with somebody from the BRICS nation on your YouTube channel, right? Now, listen what I'm telling you right now, right? Imagine now America is over here trying to feed y'all propaganda about the BRICS nation, about all these people that's forming alliances against us. You got the power to hit up one of them leaders from the BRICS nation and be like, yo, can you come on my YouTube channel for an interview because I want you to verify the information that American media sources is saying about the BRICS nation. Now, you're independent. That's your constitutional right as a media person, just like he can get Netanyahu on his channel. I can go get Netanyahu's enemy and say, can you verify what Netanyahu just said so we can make sure it ain't one-sided, so it ain't no dictatorship in America, so Americans can know the truth and not just the propaganda that the elitists who've infiltrated our government trying to sell to us so it can lead us to hell. Right? Why do y'all think Israel is buying up all of the social media platforms in America? All of their buddies own all the big ones, from Facebook to Twitter. They're going to say it's brutal content, right? For you to be inviting these other world leaders on, for you to be speaking anti what the hell we trying to do in America. And at that point, we're in a dictatorship where Americans can no longer challenge its own government authority, which is what freedom of speech gives us to do, the ability and freedom to put on trial even our leaders. And when we lose that ability, y'all, it's over for us. And this is why Israel is going so hard. They're in the middle of a damn war. They saying we got to take control over social media because they know how important this is, what I'm saying. Of your enemies within communicating with your enemies without.
Body honest.
With your enemies without.
That's interesting. But wait a minute. Here's some Israel politicians talking about social media.
I mean, you know, it's a big concern of their enemies from within communicating with their enemies abroad.
The next thing we will do, is to put restriction on the social media in a way that not allowed to make brutal propaganda in the social media.
So those are Israel politicians talking about the fact that social media needs to be controlled.
See?
Wait a minute, we're going down a rabbit hole here. And then you get conservatives that are on the extreme right that are not happy about this at all.
The American president has to stand up to this tiny country. You know, for all people say, oh, you think they run the world, they're so tiny. The American president has to stand up to them and say, you are going to stop right now.
And what's crazy, you got black conservatives like Ringo TV that'll tell you white supremacy is a joke. When here is a white man who is a white supremacist and a white nationalist bitching about the same people that's oppressing black folks in this country. It's just that they haven't oppressed his people that much, but now they starting to oppress even the white people starting to feel this stuff now. So there is a group of, there's a people in power in this country that got our leaders in their pocket. And even the white patriotic Americans and white nationalists are getting tired of those people. And those people are getting paranoid because now you got even the white nationalists like Nick Fuentes saying, we tired of you. So they got all of these foreign people all around the world saying, we tired of y'all. And you got all of these black people and white people in America saying, we tired of y'all. And guess what they saying? We got to take control over social media. Because they see shit about to get ugly if we start galvanizing through these platforms.
And you're going to obey. And if you don't, then we're going to pull the plug. I said it last night. It is past time for that to happen. But would you like to know why the American president can't do that? It's because they control our system.
That's Nick Fuentes complaining about the fact that some country controls our system. Now, he doesn't say that country by name, but it could be.
We know who the hell he talking about, Israel. He got to be politically correct because he's a big public figure. I don't. I'm going to say it.
He inferred on who he's referring to. But wait, guys, there's more. Fast forward. Like it or not, Netanyahu doesn't really waste time. He tells it how he feels it. He's not passive aggressive with what he's trying to do. He wants you to understand his game plan, what's going on, and this is how he wants to attack it. Now, he understands that Israel is not so liked in America by certain people right now, and his plan to combat it is unique.
And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back?
He said they gotta fight back. This is a fucking war, people. People talking about ain't gonna be no civil war in America. We in a civil war. There is a power in this country that's undermining the Constitution because it don't like the idea that Americans is challenging it. And you hearing it. This power is saying, we gonna fight you. We gonna silence you. We gonna undermine the Constitution. You ain't gonna do nothing to make us bow down. We going to war. You hear him saying it now. And it's a war versus Israel versus any Americans that's anti-Israel. It's literally, we got a foreign country that's tethered within our government system, our power structure, and it's waging war on people, on the citizens of this land. And our government ain't protecting us from this foreign entity that's a threat to us, to our freedom of speech. It said it's supposed to protect us from threats, foreign and domestic. Israel will be a foreign threat that's literally telling our government in its face, we gonna fight back against your citizens And our government gonna let these people, right? Our government gonna let them fight us, use all of their power and stuff, undermine, and the government gonna sit back and do nothing. Because the government don't have to just become this huge dictatorship overnight and start putting boots on your faces. That ain't how it works. They can simply have another entity rise up and undermine the Constitution and simply do nothing about it. And you will be in a third world state that way as well. Which is what's happening. Which is what's happening. So, yeah, that's exactly what's happening. You can have an entity in this land that you can have it to where you've normalized the concept that these people got power, you can't challenge them. And just like when we say, well, the J words, that's a psychological operation for years to let us know who in power psychologically, who you can challenge and can't. But let's play the video real quick, you know what I'm saying?
Influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance, to that community. They're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. You know, the weapons change over time.
This is a freaking war, y'all. A war within. Civil war is taking place right now. It's a spiritual war. What does the word spirit mean in etymology? Let me show you so you can see I'm not making it up. When the Bible say it's going to be a spiritual war, you saying it right now. What is a spiritual war, right? Look at here. Breath of a God. What is the breath of a God? That is the words of God. When they say God breathed a breath in man, the fractal esoteric connection with that is that God spoke the entire universe into existence in the Bible, right? That would be God using his breath to give man life. You see, breath is life, is spirit, is words. Words are power. Words shape reality. So speaking when we talk about the breath of a God, it ain't just saying blowing your breath on me. It's saying words. When you inspire somebody, the word inspiration is dealing with spirit, giving them motivation in their spirit, right? When you inspire them, you give them the breath of a God, which is inspirational words. And you can inspire people to rise up against a tyrannical power in their land. And so this is a spiritual war. They want to get rid of you having the ability to inspire others or give them the same spirit of rebellion that you got against the devil, and therefore galvanize your army to fight back against this man right here who just clearly told you it's war. He ain't gonna bow down. Let me replay this. This dude's, you gotta know what kind of motherfucker Netanyahu is. He's not gonna bow to any Americans that's critical of Israel. He gonna start executing you. The first form of it is taking away your speech on social media. If you don't think he want to take away your life like they doing them people on the Gaza Strip, you a lie. And the more it seems like we just won't stop Israel. I can literally see Israel manifesting a third world state in America where it's literally executing citizens, saying that they are a threat to government and safety because they probably somehow working with the enemy and they traitors. Lying on you just because of your social media posts and all this. They'll start making bogus profiles of what would be the type of domestic terrorists, right? But this is the beginning of it, because it's a whole agenda they got to start regulating social media profiles on threat levels. People, that's the same thing China got. That's literally the social crediting system.
By certain people right now. And his plan to combat it is unique.
And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community, they're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. You know, the weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well, okay? And you can't fight.
I'm sorry, I missed a couple super chats. Let me give a shout out to Jay Scaramella. And he said they took out the character Charlie, not the actor. Let me give a shout out to Hydrogen. Thank you, Hydro. Shout out to Mama. Are we doomed because we live here? What are your thoughts? We'll touch on that shortly. He said, and
fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, you know, like drones, things like that. I won't get into that.
This man said we fight today basically by taking over social media and with drones. What is Netanyahu telling you? And who is he want to fight? He's trying to fight people that's critical of Israel and America with drones and social media censorship. Come on now. I kept telling y'all the other day, Trump put the Palantir system in. They got all of they got this new infrastructure of network of smart cameras in everybody's city, right? Check this out, right? Here's the thing. I keep telling y'all, you can be posting some online about Israel, and next thing you know, there's a drone flying over your house every other day or every week on a patrol. This is what they doing in China. They got targeted individuals that you might, man, ever since I've been going in on goddamn Netanyahu, I keep seeing this drone every day. Oh yeah, bro. They assign a little robot to your ass. Yeah, they will put, it's like flies on shit. If they say, listen, he's one of the threats, they'll go put a bug on you. Now people think I'm reaching, but a drone is very cheap for them, bro. These are like insects to them. It's nothing to them. To have an AI drone, they don't even gotta do nothing to it. It's its own artificial intelligence. It don't need no human interaction, and it'll spy on you. It'll be your little companion, your little guardian angel, nigga. Oh yeah, we finna enter that time now to where people gonna realize the more power they get pushing back at this system, the more they're being watched.
But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media.
Can everybody drop a 1 if y'all can hear me? Can everyone drop a 1 if y'all can hear me? Just to make sure that we got our mic right.
And the most important purchase that is going on right now is class
Followers.
TikTok.
Look at that. Netanyahu at a very important meeting now. And this man just told everybody at the meeting what is the most important purchase that's going on now. And they start mentioning probably like weapons or land or something. And he like, nope, it's TikTok. You see what I'm saying? Listen.
Now is class.
Let me take this back. Listen up, y'all.
That apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is class
Followers.
TikTok. TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X.
So wait a minute. This is Netanyahu saying that the main thing that they need to do is to control TikTok. And he wants the deal to go through. And guess what? It did go through. So rewind. So Donald Trump the entire time wanted to get TikTok for an American buyer. But there was only one American buyer he wanted to really sell it to. It was Oracle. Because Oracle is Jewish. And Netanyahu wants it to be owned by a Jewish person. Which means that, in theory, somebody could estimate or believe that TikTok's information or censorship will basically be on the behalf of Israel. That can be inferred because look at what Netanyahu just said. He is willing to pay not only to get TikTok if he needs to, but influencers. He's talking about they have paid influencers because.
Right. So any one of y'all right now can, if you were big enough, then you would be given once you get into politics and you become a political figure like Brandon Tatum, Candace Owens, all that, you can contact these people and you can get jobs. You can be sort of puppets for them pushing their Zionist agenda, right? And that's why I was telling y'all about Brandon Tatum. He took the bag. He's for sale. But I'll let O'Shea tell it. I've been telling y'all this. When I saw O'Shea break it down in his video, I ain't gonna lie, it made me feel good because I was like, finally somebody with a big channel is not only just calling him a coon, but going into detail on how he's a sellout, who he sold out to, and the details and all that. Salutes to O'Shea.
Because the people who are anti-Israel have money that they're paying, so therefore he needs to pay. And guess who's one of the paid influencers for Israel? Now, let's talk about Brandon Tatum and his position on the black community. When it comes to the blacks, or at least when he first started, Tatum was interested in getting the white conservative dollar. And so he was saying things that racism is not really that big of a deal anymore. Black people are to blame. And we kind of heard that earlier in the video, but those were his talking points. But wait a minute, Tatum started falling out of favor, even with some of his black supporters, when he was downright just not telling the truth.
Most of the time, I agree with you. A lot of the times I agree with you. But it is a lot of the times it sounds like you're defending the white power structure. Like, I experienced I'm 30 years old. What I experienced in life shows me that there's definitely racism and it's definitely systematic. And for you to not see that, it hurts and it's confusing.
Now, this person is saying, listen, Tatum, I usually agree with you, but you're acting like racism is not real or it's not systemic. That's necessarily not true. It is true. Like, I've experienced it. But here's what Tatum is doing now. Tatum has upgraded from just talking bad on the blacks and getting the white conservative money to, well, let's go back to that Turning Point clip. And let's go back when he was arguing with that college student or debating the college student. You see Turning Point USA, right? It's a known fact that Turning Point USA was basically, one of the donors of Turning Point USA was the Jewish community. All right. Israel spent a lot of money on Turning Point USA.
So he's been my whole thing with this video is to show you the far right white supremacy, Christian nationalist agenda is synonymous with the small hat Zionist agenda. When we say that they're selling us out to Israel, what me and O'Shea doing is pointing out to y'all who the they is. You don't identify the they, y'all just say they. Then we start putting faces on the day. Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, people like this. Because what they're doing, who own the media in America? Israel, the Zionists. So when we say, well, this is a staged event, guess who are the puppet masters behind what all of the puppets do on the stage? The small hats. Right. Netanyahu and them people. They control the series of events that's acted out on the world stage in America, whether they're fake or real. And they use those to get to an end goal, which is Zionism and a America is gonna be like a third world country, and it's gonna be called a kingdom of Zion, in according to the Bible. That what the end goal of the people in power is a earth with no crime, because every citizen gonna be getting spied on, like that movie. I forgot the name of that movie, but it's like China, right? It's zero crime, because you live in like this police state. And that's what they keep promising, that we're going to have a world of zero crime by introducing more of these kind of surveillance systems. And who control these systems and the media outlets? Israel. So we're now seeing the first beginnings of the building of the kingdom of Zion. And anyone that say, wait a minute, I don't want y'all to rebuild America into a third world Zionist country, you're going to be met with resistance by Netanyahu and by, the forces, the power that be. And so we see Netanyahu watches black YouTube. He know who Officer Tatum is, so he did speak about the flat earth. So I wouldn't be surprised if Netanyahu probably came across one of my videos. He's the kind of prime minister that you can't put it off the table that he don't know who you are. Because he's invested in the fact that he know who Officer Tatum is shows you he's into like American social media. He know who the big figures is. He know who got the big who he can use, and he's telling you that we're looking for social. He's recruiting, and he's looking to censor anyone that would oppose Brandon Tatum or the people that puppets that they recruit. And they ain't gonna have no pushback, because all of their pushback gonna be silenced by the same platforms that's propping them up. So we going into a dictatorship. Ain't gonna be no challenging these people. Ain't gonna be no debating or none of that. You're gonna get one side of the story. It's gonna always be lopsided and biased, and that's where we headed. Ain't gonna be no more debates and all that in America. It's just gonna be, this is what it is, and that's it. A dictatorship. That's what Netanyahu wanted to be. So let me see. Yeah, they walked out on that man. Y'all can go watch this for yourself. They don't respect us no more. And when they start losing respect, they get desperate. Now they got to go on YouTube and get some help from black YouTubers. Netanyahu on goddamn $1 million worth game and shit. Yes, Gilly the Kid. Your name is Gilly? Yes, man. He desperate as hell. This man, he said, help us, goddammit. Everybody walking out on him and shit. Look.
Order in the hall.
And while everybody walking out on Netanyahu, that's when Netanyahu want to recruit black people. He ain't never wanted to come to y'all. And who did he come to? The far-right blacks that are coons that's going to push the Zionist agenda. We need to be scared of this man, y'all, because he got our government in his pocket. So that's my spiel for y'all today. The next stream I'm going to be doing is going to be on 3-Eye Atlas. It's going to be on 3-Eye Atlas. And the fact that you got all of the major news channels saying that this thing is so scary and it's a threat. But on NASA's website, they got in bold letters, it poses no threat to Earth. I was like, wow, ain't they concerned about fake news? People, I got a big conspiracy to expose to the world. And be looking out for my next stream on 3-Eye Atlas. I'm going to show y'all a government cash cow that's undeniable. It's a scam. The planetary defense system is a scam. People, I'm telling you, if you go to, and I got my receipts. I ain't showing them now because I'm just promoting my next stream. My next stream going to be on 3-Eye Atlas. I got something to point out no one pointed out is going to blow y'all away. Everybody acting like doomsday coming, getting their money. And if you go on NASA website, they saying this thing don't pose no threat at all. But it make you wonder, why aren't they censoring these people for fake news? I'm going to let you know why, because they all in on it, and it's one big cash cow, and I'm going to expose it on my next stream. So I would have redirected y'all to my next stream, but I don't have the thumbnail and I don't have all that set up yet. So just be on the lookout for the notification for my stream on 3i Atlas. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but be on the lookout for it. I also got another stream that I'm going to do on all of these shootings that's been happening to show y'all how if these are staged, then the agenda behind them is to promote this new surveillance state. And they're going to use mass shooters to do that. Remember what Netanyahu just said? Netanyahu just said in this video, he's into using drones to help police Americans. Let me replay that one more time. Let me replay that real quick. Hold on. Don't go nowhere, y'all. I got some more stuff for y'all.
Somebody tag Brandon Tatum, Officer Brandon Tatum.
Listen, check this out. You got to pay attention what this man's saying. He telling you he want to start using more drones in America to police Americans who anti-Israel on social media. Look,
certain people right now, and his plan to combat it is unique.
And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster.
See what he's saying? This man is letting you know you can buy people. And he ain't even, like O'Shea said, he's very blunt. One thing about Netanyahu, what I agree with O'Shea, he's a transparent individual. You know, but he telling you basically this is done with money, man. This is the same man that'll tell you you can buy governments if you got enough money, because he bought ours. I'm just saying. Listen to how he talk.
Okay, we have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. Do that.
He finna bring up drones.
That community, they're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. You know, the weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well. Okay. And you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, you know, like drones, things like that.
Drones. Now listen, remember what we say. Most of the stuff in the media is staged. Now, Netanyahu's people own all the media outlets. And what are all of the media outlets pushing? That we should use drones to neutralize mass shooters. So guess what, y'all? We seeing a lot of mass shootings happen, and I'm thinking it smell fishy because in all of these cases, the shooter is committing suicide or the shooter is some crazy sleeper cell. So they're not coherent. So you couldn't really investigate the matter anymore based on their behalf, and you would need to because they got all the answers. They the suspect. That's very convenient, bro. If it's a staged fake event, like what we saying about Charlie Kirk. Now check this out. What if we find out most of these shootings that they putting out there in the public are fake events orchestrated by Israel, or a foreign military entity that is waging war against Americans with false news and fake propaganda while targeting you if you do it? I think that's what happened. This is a fucking Cold War, y'all, that Americans been in and don't even know it. of psychological operations carried out by the people who own the media outlets in this land. You know what's so sad? We in America, and 85% of all the major media outlets in America are owned by a foreign entity. Come on now, bro. And you want to know why most Americans have this program mindset of Zionism and they don't even know it. Even if they just a everyday churchgoer, they are hoping that the kingdom of Zion come to earth because that's what they calling their refuge. Most Christians rejoice of this zero crime world that the king of Zion is going to build in the last days. That is this police state. The people, true Christians go to heaven. The people that fall for the okie-doke and the false god, they gonna stay on earth in this kingdom called Zion with a God called Christ, which is the demiurge. You will never reunite on a higher plane up there in heaven. Go read the book of Revelation. The kingdom of Zion is what they talking about now, this new world order with zero crime, because there's a worldwide network of police surveillance that can track any and everybody anywhere at all times, people. That's already here. They only, what they trying to do now is just expand the network. But the network, the infrastructure is there. They're just getting all of the police departments now to connect, to come online and tether up and build one huge network. I already watched the whole documentary on this. But Netanyahu want to start using drones to police Americans. And the only way you can do that is with some sort of staged event, because Americans ain't going to just turn over their privacy. You're going to have to scare us to be able to use these drones against us. You're going to have to make us ask for the drones, because listen what he's saying here.
Change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well, okay? And you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, you know, like drones, things like that.
Drones. Netanyahu want to watch what you doing on social media, and if you the one that's being anti-Zionist or anti-Semitic, he want to assign a drone in your area. Now, they got so many, they can build these drones. These drones are getting built cheaper and cheaper, and they are stronger and stronger. These drones have evolved to a point they don't even need human interaction. They can assign one to a certain individual, and it'll have a routine, and this drone would be everything they need to know where you are, what you are in your area at all time. If you ever move out of your area, this drone can communicate with other drones and basically say, this is Bro Sanchez. He's a threat risk to infrastructure. Don't give him no job. Watch him. He's a targeted individual. He may be against the establishment. So not only are these drones communicating with each other, all of our cell phones are basically speaking to each other, and we don't even know it, that all of our electronics got a whole nother communication layer that is underlying the social communication network that we use. And these things are like a secret society of AI within their self, whispering about every human. You know, he beat his wife. You know, he got a felon. You know, basically ain't no privacy in this layer of communication, but that's going to bleed over into the real world slowly. And it's going to be just like it is in China, where everyone, it's just going to be one interconnected network of data being passed about every human. And they know everything about everybody. So your phone knows all of your secrets and behavior. It's telling that to other AI. Your phone is a snitch, and it's always sending data about you and what you doing to other phones that's in proximity. And all these phones is like gossiping women, gossiping AI women that's feeding all this data back to a headquarters that's using it to outsource to corporations to help the AI learn better about us, to learn how to strengthen this surveillance infrastructure. And people is crazy. And when we talking about the black versus white and the psyops and all that, it's distracting us from what's really going on this level that I'm breaking down now. So a person may say, what would be the benefits of faking all this? The political benefits, well, I just pointed out what a martyrdom effect as far as Charlie Kirk go, because a staged death could turn Charlie Kirk into a political martyr, and that will rally conservatives like what we see happening. It will increase sympathy and strengthen his movement far more than his living activism would have done, because Charlie Kirk wasn't famous. He was infamous like Mobb Deep, meaning that when he show up at your school, people like, oh, there go this motherfucker again. It's kind of like the Hebrew Israelites showing up on your block. Oh, man, I'm just trying to get to work, bro. It's like, after a while, his presence start to be divisive and straining, right? And it led up to what we see, what happened, to prove my point. So what I'm saying is this right here. Charlie Kirk could have stayed alive, but the MAGA movement wouldn't be nearly as strong as it is right now and as rich as it is. They've made hundreds of millions of dollars in the wake of Charlie's death on merchandise, live streams. And they've recruited so many more people toward that man's message and movement. So that martyrdom effect is real, because who else had a martyrdom effect? Jesus Christ. And look how strong Christianity is. So don't you deny the martyrdom effect. That joint work, bro. It works. So more political benefits would be mobilizing a base. You know, why is Micah Murray putting tools in my chat? Do me a favor. I need my moderators to use their wrenches for a minute. Moderators, if y'all can hear my voice and ain't nothing wrong with my voice, and I didn't ask nobody to put anybody putting tools in my chat, especially if they spamming them like this. This brother should have been put on timeout yesterday. Please, guys, because look, because he wasn't blocked, I'm distracted with tools thinking my mic messed up. These are trolls. I need my moderators to help me. It's too many people with wrenches. I'm begging y'all, and I appreciate y'all for being moderators, because, you know, you doing me a service, and I appreciate that. But yeah, man, beat they ass with them wrenches when they go to putting tools out there. And my mic ain't nothing wrong with my mic. Block them off the back. We gonna shout out the first mod that's on it every time. So what would be more political benefits? Silencing critics, mobilizing a base. High emotion tragedies unify supporters. It drives donations, and it radicalizes individuals who feel that their values are under attack. I wouldn't be surprised if Charlie Kirk is either living out his life on an uncharted paradise, or changed his identity. Because when you realize it's hundreds of millions of dollars by creating martyrdom effects, then people start staging their deaths and staging. If they find out we can get hundreds of millions of dollars in donations tomorrow if you just so happen to die, that's better than cheating the insurance policy. And you ain't do nothing but fool people like he died. You ain't even cheating the insurance company. You cheating the public who they emotionally touch. Because high emotion tragedies unify supporters. It drives donations. It radicalizes individuals who feel that their values are now under attack. So it also silences critics. A fake death narrative might shut down opposition by painting critics as heartless for continuing to challenge them. Just like we see with Charlie Kirk. Anybody that say it's fake or that, you know, whatever they say to criticize, if you're a critic, they shut you down, oh, you evil, right? And also, you got to look at the media and the cultural benefits. You see what I'm saying? Distraction from other events. Staging a high-profile assassination could pull attention away from economic, political, and international issues. What is going on right now? I just showed you. Netanyahu is waging war on Americans right now. Guys, Netanyahu is waging war on Americans. Welcome to Benevolent Bishop, the question. Appreciate your support. While they got us debating about mass shooters, they're using mass shooters as a psyop to bring forth the Zionistic agenda of Netanyahu, which is to get these drones up in the sky with less pushback. And the best way to get these drones up there with less pushback is to scare your ass. So they're using their media to push mass shooters, and so that they can get this police, the next phase of this police state, which is a sky net of drones. Now listen. Where was I? Meanwhile, they using these distractions to push the agenda. They using the distractions to push the division too. Who control all these media outlets? Israel, Netanyahu. And don't you find it strange that they pushing a bunch of psyops that's going to ultimately lead to everything that Netanyahu said that he was trying to do right here? That ain't no coincidence to y'all. Too many coincidences. It is too many coincidences. Narrative control. The story can be spun into endless cycles of commentary, letting media outlets and influencers push agendas while the public debates whether or not it's real or fake. So you got Candace Owens going. You got Brandon Tatum. These people have grown so much. And that's distraction tactics. They got everyone looking at these people now. Because Americans are like, maybe they have the answers because the man who died must have died doing something right. That's the martyrdom effect. So what happens when Jesus Christ died? All of the disciples become rock stars. And we see that rock star effect happening to all of Charlie's former friends like Candace Owens and Brandon Tatum. They're one big fucking secret society, y'all. These folks are satanic. This is the synagogue of Satan that the Bible warned us about. They got all of these scriptures tattooed on their arms, these black conservative, these Christian nationalists, when you can't be a Christian and a nationalist. You can't do them both. If you're a Christian, you can't even participate in politics. And if you don't understand why I'm saying that, then ask me for the call-in link and we can have a conversation. Talk to my mods. They'll let me know when I look at the chat again that you want to come up and holler at me. Content virality. Shocking events generate massive online engagement. Let's look at Candace Owens' views. She gonna be live again, I think today. She milking the hell out of that cow. She milking that cow. And she don't care nothing about Charlie Kirk. This is a disgusting woman. Look at how she milking the money out of this thing. Look at here. What is the benefits of staging this? Look at how much money people are making behind this man's death that they wouldn't have made if he was alive. So shocking events generate massive online engagement, fueling ad revenue, trending topics, and algorithmic amplification. These people are saying that this man was assassinated and that there's a big conspiracy around his death, but they creating a highly edited content with commercial breaks in it. People, if my best friend just got shot in the damn neck in front on live television, my next videos about it ain't gonna be me with a face full of makeup, my best Sunday outfit on, and a highly edited damn video with the commercial breaks at the right spot. Cause I'm traumatized. My best friend just was killed. And now I got to go out and tell the public I think it may be a conspiracy. You will be very shaken. She ain't giving you hurt vibes. We want to figure out who killed my friend because I'm fucking mad and I'm hurt. She's giving you content creator. Let's solve the mystery vibe. Watch my next video at 5 o'clock. It's freaking disgusting. And Brandon Tatum doing the same thing. Like there's some investigators. You're not the police. You're not the police. So this whole concept of making your content to like, oh, we got to figure this out. No, let the police figure it out and respect the dead. Ain't that your friend? You're disgusting milking it like that. So if you look at this man's videos too, watch this. This is what I'm talking about. Question marks. New dispatch audio reveals Charlie Kirk had no autopsy. Let's make it a big conspiracy. What's up with the no autopsy? Something strange about this. Let's be the damn investigators now. New evidence in Charlie Kirk case revealed. They lied, right? I'm just showing y'all. It's not like a friend who's mourning the death of a friend. It's like we need to capitalize off this while it's fresh. Get the content out there. Get the thumbnails right. The facial expression. Look, do the damn eyes. Look at here. Your friend dead now. But in the same month, not even 2 weeks after your homie just got assassinated on live TV, you're on a thumbnail doing the fucking Buckeyes. Come on now. Y'all fake as hell. Your homeboy literally just got shot in the neck not even 2 weeks ago. And 3 days later, you on a thumbnail with your eyes big as hell getting your content on. It ain't like you on a thumbnail in tears. Like you got your best Buckeyes going. I call that the Buckeyes. Right? Your eyes got all that white showing in that thumbnail right there. But you a mourning friend. That's your homie that died. Man, gangsters mourn they homies better than y'all. Beautiful thumbnail. Look just like her. It's your friend just died. He ain't been in the ground not even 2 weeks. And you over here posing on thumbnails, looking cute and all this. Y'all folks fake, bro. It's content creation. You ain't trying to figure nothing out. It's content creation. Hey, let me see, super chat. Let's give a shout out to Panama Jack. Thank you for the support, bro. We got a new member, man. Oh, the question. Yeah, welcome once again. The question. Appreciate you once again. Yeah, these people fake, man. So what would be some psychological, right, and social engineering benefits of this thing? Fear and surveillance justification. public assassinations can be used to justify more security, censorship, or quote unquote protection laws. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? What did that dude just say? He said, we got to protect y'all from brutal content. Bro, you ought to tell him words don't hurt me. You can't commit no brutality with words, bro. You can only commit a brutality with physical force. So when a person say you're being brutal with those words, man, you being a bitch because you can't handle what I'm saying. Shout out to Joshua Tellington. If the truth hurt and they're trying to protect y'all from shit, words that hurt y'all, then the world will never get the truth. Did you hear me? If the truth hurt and you got some people that's trying to protect y'all from words that hurt you, then guess what they trying to do? Simply keep you from the truth. Because they don't care nothing about protecting your damn feelings. The woman that worked with Netanyahu in Israel already said the biggest threat to Israel youth is black. It's the black community. It's the black youth because they perpetuate their gang mentality and they toxic music. So these people don't bite their tongue. They don't care about hurting your feelings. They'll tell you how they feel about you in a heartbeat. So the concept of, oh, we want to protect you from brutal content that may be hate-filled, it's full of hate, it may hurt your feelings, man. Let me hear that hate that the man got for me. I'm a grown man. I can defend it my own way. Let me defend that. I want to hear him hate on me. No, don't censor my haters. Because when I get ready to hate on somebody with my speech, you going to shut my mouth up. We don't need no parents. We grown folks. We can talk how we want to talk. So division. We already know division is another benefit. Desensitization. Repeated shocking events, whether they real or staged, can wear people down emotionally, making them easier to control. Personal and financial benefits, insurance and contracts. In theory, faking a death could protect someone from legal, financial, or reputational fallout. Rebranding. Quote unquote, killing off a public persona allows them to resurface under new roles, identities, or projects. Wealth transfer. GoFundMe campaigns, which we saw the wife take advantage of that. Donations, PAC fundraising, and quote unquote support the cause drives often surge after assassinations. And all of that we saw happen immediately after Charlie Kirk, as if they had that shit on standby. So the bottom line is if all of this is fake, the biggest beneficiaries would be political allies, because they would gain a martyrdom effect and all of those hundreds of millions in donations. They would get more control. Who would benefit? Media and platforms for viral clicks, narratives that they can milk. Government institutions would benefit too because of fear-driven compliance and new laws based on it. So all of the evil entities in this world all benefit from a staged event like that. And they benefit in ways that are astounding. The question is, if you knew you can benefit by faking one little dude death, taking him off the stage, hiding him away, and you can benefit I'm talking about you're going to be hundreds of millions of more dollars richer the next day. You're going to have this much more power the next day. Hell yeah, they would do it. It gets them very much closer to their agenda. Overnight, they made so much ground. They covered so much ground in moving us toward the Zionist agenda with this PSYOP. So that is my take on it, because I've been covering this thing and I wanted to update y'all with, how I feel as far as the stage aspect, and all that and the agenda behind it or whatnot. So be on the lookout for my 3 Eye Atlas stream. That'll be my next stream. You don't want to miss it because all of these events are they tie in together for the same agendas, y'all. Thank you, everyone that supported the show. I want to always thank my channel members and my Patreons. I really appreciate y'all. Once again, thank you to all the viewers and subscribers. Can't do it without y'all. See y'all on the next one. Peace and much love.